Hey folks, welcome to our thrilling journey today. Follow Jack on a whimsical adventure through a job interview. This job looks as easy as pie, but the only downside is enduring a baptism of loneliness. Jack excitedly said as a writer he could freely write here. Next, the manager mentioned the hotel's historic tragedy. In 1970, the previous winter caretaker Charles looked his wife and 2 daughters with an axe, eventually opting for a unique exit. Police concluded that Charles had a case of the loneliness bug, leading him to suffer from claustrophobia troubles. The manager hoped Jack would reconsider, for the history here runs deep. But Jack was fearless, brimming with anticipation for work. So Jack headed home to pick up his wife and son. On the way, they dreamt of their future, blissfully unaware that this outing would be the genesis of tragedy. After a 3-hour adventure, the family finally reached the hotel, and the manager led them on a tour of the layout. The hotel's decor brims with Native American style. The manager boasted it was built in 1907 atop a tribe's resting place. Rumors say they got hospitality from Native Americans during construction. Meanwhile, Jack's son Danny, playing in the recreation room, heard footsteps turned and saw too many sister lookalikes. They spoke after eye contact. The girl laughed silently, as if not in their script. But in reality, Danny wasn't seeing humans. She had a superpower to predict what's about to happen. When Jack showed up for the job interview, Danny's subconscious conjured up the twin sisters and saw blood pouring from the hotel door. Young Danny didn't understand her superpowers, thinking friend Tony was pranking, so she often talked to him in the mirror. To this end, Mom Wendy sought a psychologist who deemed Danny just a whimsical child. Wendy recalled that her husband Jack used to be a bookworm teacher and their son was so naughty he flung papers everywhere. Jack, in a drunken haze, disciplined the boy but ended up dislocating his shoulder, leaving Jack questioning life. From then on, the son grew withdrawn, often talking to himself, his eyes always fixed on the hotel where the manager showed them the banquet hall, mentioning Chef Black. Afterwards, the staff led Danny to the banquet hall, with the manager suggesting Chef Black take Wendy and the kids on a kitchen tour while he freed up some time. Mom and son followed Chef Black into the kitchen, finding the freezer stuffed with meat, looking like they were preparing for a New Year's feast. As they left, Chef Black called Danny Little Misfortune, surprising Wendy about how he knew her son's nickname. Chef Black didn't reply, quietly changed topic, and entered the storeroom stuffed with canned goods, fruits. While Chef Black was introducing things to Wendy, Danny appeared to hear his inner hints, suggesting Chef Black had his own little secret. Just then, they ran into the manager and Jack. Chef Black lingered under the pretext of eating ice cream, inviting everyone to explore the hotel's basement. During the chat, Chef Black spilled his secret. He also had a similar special ability and could subconsciously communicate with Danny. Grandma termed this gift shining, enabling foresight of future and sensing past fun. After listening, Danny gradually understood the bizarre scenes in her mind. She asked Chef Black if anything spine-chilling ever happened in room 237 because she sensed his panic levels. Chef Black didn't respond, instead warning Danny to avoid room 237. 2 months later, the hotel had only this family left. Wendy managed everyone's lives while Danny toured around on her little bike and Jack wrote in the lobby, occasionally brainwashing himself for inspiration. To combat loneliness, Wendy loved taking her son into the outdoor labyrinth, and over time they mastered escape skills. In the corner of the hall was a model of the labyrinth. Jack bent down to check it out and spotted his wife. The director cleverly utilized montage editing. On the surface, it looked like the mother and son were in the model, subtly hinting at Jack's mental state. At dinner time, Wendy was as busy as usual while the TV blared news about the impending snow warfare around the hotel. At that time, Danny rode her bike in the hallway, stopped at room 237, and questioned her existence. Driven by curiosity, Danny resolved to decode the room, only to find that the door wouldn't budge no matter how hard she tried. At that moment, twin sisters flashed in her mind, prompting Danny to flee. Meanwhile, the scene shifted to the hotel lobby, where Jack typed furiously, his inspiration interrupted by Wendy's arrival. The bickering at this moment resembled a madman's announcement, drowning out each other's thoughts. Back then, he truly wished he could return to the past. You get my drift? Jack's odd behavior made Wendy increasingly anxious, leaving her with no choice but to retreat. Next morning, the hotel was covered in thick snow. Wendy and her son had great fun in it. Through the glass, Jack listlessly witnessed all this, his eyes reflecting a hint of resentment. As the blizzard worsened, Wendy found the hotel phone had failed. Fortunately, a wireless device in the manager's office sent her a distress signal, which the downhill station quickly received. Wendy voiced her needs, but was told the strike was from the sky's blizzard. No repairs possible now. If other needs arise, call down via this device. Wendy ended the call helplessly. Then the camera showed Danny riding her bike aimlessly upstairs. When she rounded the corner, the twins appeared opposite. Danny was stunned. She hadn't expected them to invite her to join in. In a blink, the sisters died horribly in the hallway, making her realize those opposite were not human. When Danny looked over again, the hallway was deserted. She attempted to chat with Tony, who recited in her mind, "Remember what Mr. He said. It's like a scene from the book, Danny. This isn't real." The next day, Danny went to get a toy from the room. Wendy told her dad was soundly sleeping, not to disturb him. Danny cautiously opened the door, finding her father sitting dazed on the bed. Jack's recent irritability scared Danny. Danny noticed her father looked incredibly haggard, and Jack explained he was just fatigue. She told her son she hoped the family could continue the legend of living in this hotel.